Truth is one of the things that are foundational to life, because truth is foundational to relationships, and relationships play such a critical place in our lives. You probably don't like being lied to, you know? Most people are not that comfortable being lied to. Most people wouldn't say, oh yeah, I don't mind if my friends lie to me, or I don't mind if my spouse lies to me, you know? But it's interesting, I think, to see how casual our relationship is with the truth sometimes. And of course, like anything, it starts in small ways. It starts in small ways. We think, just a little lie here or a little lie there. And little by little, it begins to unravel, and we end up with a really casual relationship with the truth. Of course, that's where our society is right now. And worse than having a casual relationship with the truth, we actually live in a culture that's trying to murder truth. You see, the culture hates truth. Current culture doesn't believe in objective truth. What does that mean? It means the current culture doesn't believe that anything is true for everybody. Current culture is preaching the idea of, oh, well, you've got your truth and I've got my truth, and what's true for you is true for you, and what's true for me is true for me, and you live your truth and I'll live my truth, and you do whatever you want to do and I'll do whatever I want to do, and you leave me alone and I'll leave you alone, and we'll all live happily ever after in our own individual truth. And that's nonsense. You know, it's absolute nonsense. That some things are true for everybody, but in a culture that's trying to murder truth, one of the casualties is wisdom. You know, because truth and wisdom are intimately connected. Wisdom is not the amassing of knowledge. Wisdom is not even just an elevated form of knowledge. Google doesn't have any wisdom. You know, it's got all the knowledge in the world, right? It's got all the information in the world, but it doesn't have wisdom. And the reason is because wisdom is truth lived. Wisdom is actually not knowing the truth. Wisdom is living the truth, you know? And sometimes when we encounter someone who really is very wise, we realize, wow, yes, the person has knowledge. Yes, the person has experience. But more than that, we realize, wow, this person is really, in all of his or her brokenness, faults, failings, flaws, defects, all of that, this person is really trying to live this truth in his or her life. And that's a tremendously powerful thing. So as our culture tries to murder truth, guess what? You see a lot less wisdom in our culture. It's not very often you see someone on the TV and you think to yourself, wow, she is a really wise person. Or wow, he is such a wise person. Because in a culture that tries to murder truth, wisdom's a casualty. And so as you look around, you see a lot less wisdom in our culture. And if there's no such thing as truth, as our culture would like you to believe, well, then there is actually no such thing as wisdom. Because you've got your own truth, and your own truth equates to your own wisdom, and I've got my own truth, and my own truth equates to my own wisdom. So really, if everything's wisdom, then there's no such thing as wisdom. And of course, the biggest practical casualty in this war against truth is the good decision. You see, in a culture that's trying to murder truth, yes, you see a lot less wisdom, but what else? You see a lot less really good decisions being made. You know, how often do you look at someone who just made a big decision in their lives and you think, wow, man, there was wisdom in that. That wouldn't have been an easy decision to make. But I tell you, that was a really good decision. We don't see that many good decisions. Look around daily life. You don't see that many good decisions being made, because as our culture tries to murder truth, wisdom becomes a casualty. And as wisdom becomes a casualty, really good decisions become a casualty, because our culture doesn't believe that there's any such thing as a great decision. Our culture believes there's no such thing as objective truth. And if there's no such thing as objective truth, every decision becomes equal. And even the village idiot comes to the conclusion that Mother Teresa made better decisions than Adolf Hitler. Some decisions are better than other decisions. Some choices are better than other choices. What makes them better? How closely they align with truth. How closely they align with truth. And decisions that align with truth, well, that's wisdom. And so the great challenge for you and me on a daily basis is to align our lives with truth, is to reject the casual relationship with truth and say, you know what? I'm going to take truth seriously. I must start to speak the truth in all situations. I must start to live the truth in all situations, even the little things that seem insignificant, because they erode your relationship with truth. And as Christians, we're called to have a serious relationship with truth. We're called to take truth seriously, not just to have a casual relationship of convenience with truth.